naturally break up our 5 into a 2 and a 3. Now, if this is the first time you're playing in 5, this is the perfect way to get used to how it sounds. 5, 7, 9, and keep going up, 11, 13, 15. They all have a natural circular feeling once you stop thinking about the math. This is your first step to doing that. All right, here we go. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1. Now you see I was saying all the way up to number 5, but I don't want you to count it that way when you're playing it. I was just showing you so you could see how the 5 beats fit inside one bar. You're going to count it like this. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1. Now you can put a modifier in leading to the 1 or leading to the backbeat. Check this out. Just like a little modifier in the bass drum, a setup note. Great technique. Groove construction, right? Let's construct this groove slightly better. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1. And you will count it 1, 2, and 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, and 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, and 1, 2. How about the hi-hat? 2, 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, and 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, and 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, and 1, 2, 3, and 1. Just getting used to that may be a challenge if you've never done this before. So take your time, get used to it before you go on to the next ones. Let's check it out. Let's take a look at an intermediate 5, slightly more advanced and some syncopations. Still very easy to follow, and we'll still be playing in a 2 and a 3. Stay with that, 2s and 3s. You will not have a problem if you keep that in your mind. Now, here we go. This is what the groove sounds like. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1. 1. So you can see how the construction of this one really leans on the 1 with the open hat. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5, and. Nice and slow. Obviously 2s and 3s. You can see it on the poster, the way it's broken up into 4/8 notes and 6/8 notes. Beat of 2, group of 3, 5 comes together. You'll have no problems, nice and slow. Now let me just show you a little bit quicker because the track kind of scoots along a little bit. Let's just see what it looks like. And you got to stay relaxed. Don't make it math. Feel how 5 flows. Don't get a calculator out and say, okay, 1. No. It has to flow. Just like a rock beat. You feel that symmetry? Well, you have to have that symmetry in 5 in your hands and in your heart when you're playing it, or it's always going to be math. Let's see what it sounds like just a little bit quicker. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Easy, right? You're going to have no problems whatsoever. Here we go with this track. Go get them. Now here's a more interesting 5, the advanced 5, groove 94. We're going to really make this much more sophisticated now. We're going to get to the snare drum on 1 on the second bar. We've been kind of playing the bass drum on each bar on 1, which kind of makes it, nice little bite-sized chunks. Now we're going to make it a bigger chunk and create that illusion of almost a 10-beat phrase, 2 bars of 5. Let's see what this looks like. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You see how it syncopates and it gets to that buzz on the 1? There's the 1. Now the hi-hat can go over the bar line. So it's playing on 2, 4, 1, 3, 5, 2, 4, 1, 3, 5, 2, 4, 1, 3, 5. It can go all over the place. Play quarters, eighths. When I play the track, you're going to see my right hand also playing. See how it sounds a little bit quicker? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 2 bars of the groove. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the right hand is becoming almost more improvisatory. Now it could just flow 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. See how it's going over the bar line? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1. So I'll be probably doing that some of the time. I may not. I don't know. It depends. I play this different every time. I play all the tracks different every time. You get a different vocabulary happening. You can flow over the bar line or stay more symmetrical. It's your choice. It's easier to stay symmetrical in the beginning, and then you can experiment with kind of just, pushing the envelope a little bit, going a little bit farther out. Just don't dust the band. That's the whole secret. Can't dust the band. So when you're playing this in a real thing, you can't be playing mathy stuff. You have to have stuff that makes musical sense. Your phrasing must make sense. It can't be like calculator drumming. So I'll do a couple of, a couple of things. I might go over the bar line once or twice. Who knows what's going to happen? It's just one interpretation on this day, and after you watch me do it, you do it your own way. Good luck. we are at 7, groove 95. 7 is a very popular odd meter. People love playing at 7. I think it's like that. You're almost at 8, take one away, and it isn't very hard to get a hold of, you know, basic 7s. It seems to be a good, like when you get together with musicians who want to jam, they say, you know, let's play something at 7. It seems to be the popular odd meter. But the first time you play it can feel a little weird. Now it's a little bit longer. So now we're going to split this up into 2, 2, 3. Now you could do 3, 2, 2, 2, 3, 2. You could split up any old way. We're going to do right now 2, 2, 3, which is by far and away the most common way to break up odd meter groupings. You'll find the large group at the end. That's the most common way, but there are plenty of other ways to do it too. So don't think it's the only way. It's not. It's just the most common. All right, let's take a look at 7, nice and slow. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1. Nice and easy. There's no trick to it at all. 2s and 3s, play those quarter notes, split them up naturally between the bass drum and the snare drum, outlining the groups of 2s and 3s, and before you know it, you're playing in 7. And this track is nice and easy. You're going to have no problem with it whatsoever. Go get 'em. Let's take a look at an intermediate 7. Now, there's lots of different ways to play odd meter grooves, just like there's lots of ways to play 4/4. You know, a rock groove or a shuffle. Let's play a shuffle 7. That's what this one is, a shuffle 7. Now, this is just one version of a shuffle 7, and it works great, and it's cool, and it's kind of, you know, ghost notey because you got all that stuff. Remember we talked about, you know, the shuffle with the ghost notes? And we did all that. We're going to apply that here too. But if you can't do that, just take the ghost notes out and hit the primary accents. Here's what this groove sounds like. Ready? 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. Now a little slower. Okay, a little bit brighter. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Now, you have to do it with the track. And this track, I don't even know how we got to this track. The musicians decided to make this kind of like this crunchy guitar, grungy thing, and it works great. And it's fun to play a shuffle with this, like, you know, this nasty guitar line going on. The bass is doubling the guitar and stuff. So you can really get into some interesting things. You can play over the bar line a little bit. See how I went those accents? Hear that technique? That sound? you put that inside that groove, that kind of sound to get you back to the 1, it just breaks it up a little bit. I'll see if I can throw a couple in there during the play along, and you can see exactly what I'm talking about. It's a great technique just to break up this, which can get a little monotonous after a while. So if you want to break it up a little bit, you stick some accents in, group some 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, while you're still playing in 7, and if your eyeballs are spinning in your head, don't do that. But if you're ready to try it, you can play over the bar line with some triplets broken in groups of 4. Go get them. All right, let's look at an advanced 7. Now, of course, advanced, and get in quotations because there's all sorts of opinions about what is and is not advanced. However, this track scoots along at a pretty good tempo. And again, you'll find this kind of a pattern, again, broken into 2, 2, 3, to be very useful on any gigs you might get on where you might have some kind of crazy leader who calls a really fast 7. This is a good groove that works in a lot of different situations. It's a lot of fun to play. It's very symmetrical in its 7-ish kind of way. Let's look at the hi-hat and ride. Ready? 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3. Now you could flow over the bar line. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1. You can flow over the bar line if you desire. I might do that once in a while. I don't know. We'll see. Sometimes I like to do it. Sometimes I don't. Depends on where the spirit moves you when you play the track. Let's hear the bass drum and snare drum part along with that ride and hi-hat part. Ready? 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Hear that grace? Hear that? A little drag, bass drum note, snare accent. Great sound. And I'm using it just before the backbeat on the and of 6. It's a great sound. So useful. That is such a useful technique. Really easy. Not hard to play at all. I find 7 to be a very simple odd meter for most students to grasp. It's like one of the first ones they actually start to make feel really good. Instead of just, getting through a bar, it starts to actually feel good. Something about 7 is easy to get. So here we go. This one's going to scoot along. It's got a lot of stuff going on in it. It's got unison lines. The play-along version of this is going to be crazy. I can't wait to hear what you guys do with it. Stick it on YouTube. Send it to me because I want to know what you guys are doing when you're playing this stuff so I can steal all your licks. Here we go. We've arrived at 9. 9 is what I consider to be kind of the holy grail of odd meters, because if you get to 9 and can function in 9, I've found that you can get to 11, 13, 15 without any problems whatsoever. Because once you get to 9, you're dealing usually with 4 split groups. And now we're going to have 4 split groups. We're going to have a 2, a 3, a 2, and a 2. So we're not sticking the 3 on the end of the bar this time, like we've been doing up until now. Now we're going to do a group of 2, a group of 3, another group of 2, and another group of 2. And we're going to phrase it in our usual simple way with this groove. Let's see what it sounds like. Ready? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. So now when you do it with the track, you're going to hear the musicians really phrasing that 2, 3, 2, 2. They're really just laying it out. Boom, boom, boom. Absolutely no doubt about it. It isn't like it's implied. No, it's 2, 3, 2, 2, just like your part. So that's going to feel really good to play. Now, it might feel strange to stick that 3 in the beginning, you know, right after that 2, and then play a couple 2s after it, but you'll get used to it. It has a feel all its own. You're not going to have any problem with this track. Let's do an intermediate 9. Okay, now this one is 2, 2, 2, 3. That's how we're going to split this up. But it flows. So what I want you to do is once you get past the math, I don't want you to think in terms of 2, 2, 2, 3. I want you to think in 9. Just think in 9, because this really does connect. There's a lot of stuff going on in here, but it's not hard to play, and it really fills up the whole bar. You look at it on the poster, that's a really long bar of 9/4, isn't it? There's a lot of stuff going on. It's a big bar. So you can imagine what 11, 13, and 15 start to look like. You know, it gets a little crazy. I had the opportunity to play in some bands that did a lot of Frank Zappa music, and the longest bar I had to play in was 21, and I thought my brain was going to explode, you know, when we were playing in 21 and stuff. But once I stopped worrying about 21, once I just kind of let go, I didn't think of it like 21. It just became music. I let the accents, the natural flow of the bar took over. And before I knew it, it was just like, you know, you just jamming out in 21. It happens to be 21, but, you know, it's, you know, you can't think of it like that and still make it feel good. You have to let go. All right, let's see what this one sounds like. Ready? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Nine. 9. The hi-hat starts on 9 on this groove. That's the hippest part about it. So the phrasing of the hi-hat on 9 almost kicks it off if you listen to it. It's such a cool sound. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And there's 8 with a drag. Another one of those drag things. Love them. I can't get enough of them. Ready? Let's hear it sound. One more time. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now, see, that's a ridiculous count off, isn't it? Who's going to count off that long? So on a bandstand with good musicians, everybody's just going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Nice and easy. No problem. follow that groove on the poster, slow it down as much as you need. It's easy, and you're going to have a great time with this track. This track just flows. Beautiful chord changes on this. You can hear the musicians. They're flowing too. They're not forcing their parts in, so you just lay it right in there with them. It's going to be beautiful. Go get them. Groove 100. Let's all congratulate ourselves for a second to getting all the way through 100 grooves. A monumental task, and you do deserve congratulations. Think about how much more